Today's video is all about having 7 additional tips in your arsenal on how to improve your spoken English fluency. So let's start with the tip number 1, to train your mind to think in English. Now, this is something that has come across multiple times. We have an entire video on that, but that is an important skill. You do not want to spend too much energy and stressing out on thinking and framing your words and sentences by translating from your mother tongue to English and then speaking it out, because that just takes up too much time and energy, and by the time you end up speaking something, your listener has already walked away or lost the attention, or the worst case scenario, you're just so stressed that you're unable to speak. So you have to train your mind to be able to think in English so that you can reply instantly and immediately. And the ways you can do that is to first of all improve your content consumption in English. You want to make sure that you are able to regularly able to update your vocabulary with new words and phrases, and you want to practice speaking with those words and phrases in independent sentences and maybe small paragraphs that stretch, so that your brain becomes used to and is primed to using those words and speaking them and thinking in English, so that if you have to go and say get me that laptop, you don't have to think in Hindi like mujhe wo laptop la kar dena and start to wondering, okay, the word is get me and that laptop, and then pointing in the direction. It should just come very, very naturally to you. Finally, is that when you're looking for the words, which something comes around which is new and alien to you, you just want to make sure that you update your vocabulary regularly. You write down the meaning by hand and then frame sentences and phrases that will help you update your vocabulary. And by using these ideas and strategies, you will be able to think in English and respond immediately and actively. The tip number 2 is write a lot and read aloud. We have all talked quite a bit about in extensive detail in other videos as well how writing is one of the hidden secrets of improving your English thinking and fluency. The key idea in being is when you write, you're constructing words, and you can do it in a stress-free environment. What that does to you is that the ideas come very naturally to you. You can write something down and you can edit it, and that process of creating something and correcting it actually exercises your brain to think in English and become very, very used to the language. And once you've written something down, to become comfortable with how to speak that out, you should read aloud what you have written. And when you read out loud what you have written, it just completes the entire process and makes it very, very comfortable for you to be able to speak in any setting almost immediately and effectively, because you can already frame your thoughts. You have done that before, and you can speak it out loud, so your voice and your vocal box is very comfortable with how you have to speak. You already know what it sounds like, you already know what it feels like, and that makes it very, very comfortable for you to be able to speak when required with effective fluency. The tip number 3 is to watch TED videos with subtitles along. Now, almost all videos of TED goes onto the YouTube, and it already had a captioning service, so you can find the subtitles in multiple languages, but you should focus on English. And when you watch these TED videos with the subtitles, pay extreme attention to everything, how it is being delivered and what is being said. And by what is said, you want to focus not exactly on the big idea, but how that idea is being framed and presented. TED speakers can be one of the best speakers in the world, but some of the speeches are not that good. So you do want to rate videos by their likes and views, so that you can focus on the best videos. And when you look at those best videos, you will get an understanding of how they tell a story, how they start with a quote and an anecdote, and how they capture the attention of the audience, and what their non-verbals look like, what the excitement looks like, what the passion looks like. And all of these things will help you become a better speaker, because all of these verbal strategies and non-verbal cues can be used in any setting. And when you use these, it helps you to be more fluent, because you are expressing yourself as a complete individual as compared to a robot who's just speaking out something. And that is really helpful in improving your fluency, because you're able to communicate better, and that feedback you receive from the audience gives you more confidence. And hence, watch these TED videos, study these TED videos, learn from the best what the art looks like, and you will find that you're improving in English fluency in no time. The 4th tip I would suggest is to listen and sing along music in English. Download any song, or maybe just go to YouTube and start singing out loud any song by looking at their lyrics. And the reason why this is so helpful is because for 2 reasons. Number 1, The songs in English generally use very simpler words. They do not have any complicated words. So it's going to be very easy for you to get started and speak them. The second more important point is that the phrases and the words are sung with an emotion, because nearly every song has an emotion attached to it. And when you speak, you also have to use those emotions. And when you're starting out in an English language and you're not comfortable speaking, you're not able to adjust your emotions that much. And even after trying, you will come out monotone. But if you can start singing, and it doesn't matter that you know how to sing or not, if it doesn't matter if you're singing in the right pitch or the right key or not, what you want to do is to be able to follow the emotions and express yourself. So when you record yourself and listen your own singing, ignore if it's in the pitch or in the right key or not. Focus if you are able to capture the emotion of the song yourself, the way it was changing. And that will make a huge difference, because once you're able to use the words and access your vocal range in English, you will be able to transfer that when in a meeting setting or any other public speaking setting, and speaking will become much more natural and it will sound far more fluent. The tip number 5 is to have a vocabulary logbook, which includes all the new words and phrases that you come across. It could be either offline or online. It's entirely up to your convenience. But what you want to do is that every time you come across a new word, don't just underline and leave it into the book, because most likely you won't get back to the same page, chapter, or even the book and look at that word. Just write it down and record its meaning, and use actively those words into your conversation and in your writing. When you do that, over the period of the time, you will update your vocabulary and become fluent with more and more words, and you'll be able to use them effectively. You don't have to go around and be like, I know what I have to express, but I don't have to find the right words for it. That will happen less and less as you move along, and if you keep updating your words at a regular interval. And this is one of the best strategies to do that. Actively record, put up their meaning, and practice. Do this active process and you will find your vocabulary improving very soon. The 6th tip I would give is to watch English movies without the subtitles. Please note, this time it is without the subtitles, unlike previous point where I talked about with subtitles in TikTok. And the reason for this difference is the fact that what you want to do is that the movies are far more animated compared to TED speech. TED speeches can be very emotionally animated as well. But what you want to do is to not rely on the subtitles to understand the context of the scene. Multiple dialogues will be spoken, and what you want to be able to do is to focus on those dialogues delivered by different actors, and understand what they're conveying, how they're conveying, what their overall body language looks like, what the setting of the scene looks like, and not focus too much onto the subtitles and use them as a crutch to move along and understand the scene of the setting. Because TED Talks will be done in a more staged setting. You will be one person will be speaking, and it's far more easier to understand. But a movie can be far more confusing with a lot of dynamics that is happening, and you should be able to understand and follow. The voice can become suddenly so very low, it could become very loud. All of these things happen for the narrative and the storytelling purposes, and you should be able to follow all of it along. The more you can do that, the better your understanding and grasping of English will become, and you will find yourself speaking fluently quite quickly. The 7th and the final tip I would give to you is to find a conversational partner who is a fluent speaker. Now, we have talked about the importance of having a partner or even a teacher to improve your spoken English fluency, but not everybody has the luxury of finding a teacher for themselves because of different reasons. But if you can find a partner who is fluent in English, that will be fantastic. Because what will happen is, first of all, that you know that you're talking and conversing with someone who knows what they're talking about. So you know that you're going to be on the right track. The fluent speaker can and will help you provide the variations in English level as needed, so that they can speak at the right level of difficulty for you. And finally, the most important of all, that they can provide you real-time feedback on how and where you can improve, what the feedback is and why it is important for you. So having a fluent speaking partner can be a game changer, and I encourage you to find one for you. Even if it's not as regularly done compared to the other tips, having it once a week or even once in 10 days can make a massive difference if you can give just 1 to 2 hours of dedicated practice to it. So I hope you found these 7 additional tips to improve your spoken English fluency helpful, and if you did, I would love to hear that in the comment section. Please do put it down. I'm going to read all of them and reply to as many people as possible. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share with your friends and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and please do let me know what next video you want me to do. Till then, goodbye.